Naram chaiva narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayamudirahit Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatim Uttama Shloke Bhaktira Bhavati Naishtaki. Yantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So we're reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 28th chapter, titled as Kapila Dev's instruction to Mata Devhuti about the devotional service. Kapila Dev is explaining how a devotee, when he is firmly fixed in Krishna consciousness, is completely detached from the material identity, material association. Further, Kapila Dev says, Swayonishu yatha jyotir ekam nana pratiyate yoninam guna vaishyamayat tathatma prakrute sthita. As the fire is exhibited in different forms of wood, so under the conditions of modes of material nature, pure spirit soul manifests itself in different bodies. So the fire is exhibited in different forms of wood. So under the different conditions of modes of nature, the pure spirit soul manifests itself in different bodies. So here, Kapila Dev is explaining to Mata Devhuti about how every living entity gets different types of bodies. And analogy is given that of fire. Fire is the one, in a sense, but appears differently based upon the form and size of the wood. Similarly, the pure spirit soul manifests differently in the different bodies, which are shaped by modes of material nature. Srila Prabhupada ji is explaining this in more detail. It is to be understood that material body is designated. Prakriti is an interaction by the three modes of material nature. And according to the modes, someone has small body and someone has large body, very large body. For example, the fire in the big piece of wood appears to be very big, and in the stick of fire appears small. Actually, the quality of fire is the same everywhere, but the manifestation of material nature is such that according to the fuel, the fire appears bigger or smaller. Similarly, the soul in the universal body, although of the same quality, is different from the soul in the smaller body. Similarly, the soul in the universal body, although of same quality, is different from the soul in the smaller body. So here, Srila Prabhupada ji is about how different types of fires manifest. So, fire is the same, but it appears differently based upon the form of the wood and the size of the wood. Similarly, the spirit soul manifests differently in different bodies. And these bodies are shaped by the modes of material nature. So, body is a designation which is formed by interaction of the three modes of nature, the Sattva Guna, Raja Guna and Tama Guna. And the size and the nature of the body one gets depends upon any of the three modes of nature. For example, animals are usually in the mode of Tamoguna, so they get that type of body. Humans have a Rajaguna or Sattva-guna quality. So different types of living entities have different modes of guna predominant. So they get the body accordingly. So if somebody is in Tamoguna and likes sleeping, then he will get the body of a bear. That soul will get the body of a bear. So this is how the material nature and the body, they interact. But the soul is the same everywhere. The soul in the living entity is of same quality, whether it is a human, animal, insect, bird. Soul is the same. Bodies are different, and the size of the body will change. Just like big fire will come when there is a big wood, and the small fire will come when there is a small wood, but the fire is the same, right? So Srila Prabhupada ji further explains about this concept. The small particle of the soul are just like sparks of larger soul. The greatest soul is the super soul. So there are different kinds of soul, and the small particles of soul are just like spark of larger soul. The greatest soul is the super soul, but the supreme soul is qualitatively super soul is quantitatively different from small soul. So here we can see that soul has different nature, right? And like super soul, the Paramatma is quantitatively, Paramatma is much bigger than the Atma. Atma is very tiny. There are only Atma does not have much control, while the Paramatma has control of everybody. Right? So that is why he is called Super Soul. Super Soul means one who is the source of all the soul is called Super Soul. So the greatest soul is the super soul, but the super soul is quantitatively different than small soul. The super soul is described in the Vedic literature as supplier of all the necessities of smaller soul, Nityo Nityanam. So Paramatma is supplying us all our necessities. One who understands this distinction between the super soul and the individual soul is above the lamentation and is in the peaceful condition. When a smaller soul thinks himself quantitatively as big as larger soul, he is under the spell of Maya, for that is not his constitutional position. No one can become bigger than or greater than the soul, greater than the super soul, simply by mental speculation. So here, Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining the difference between the soul and the super soul. The super soul is the greatest soul and is quantitatively different from the Paramatma. Paramatma is different than Jivatma. The supreme soul supplies all our necessities to us, and then this is called Nitya Nityanam, and we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna. So this is confirmed in all, like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mame Vansho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So this emphasizes that Jiva is eternally fragmental part and parcel of Krishna. So if we are under the illusion and we think that, oh, I am the Supreme, I am the Paramatma, then that will not work. It will make our life miserable. So if you really want peaceful life, then surrender to Krishna and Krishna will take care of us. Otherwise, anxieties are always going to be there. So Krishna consciousness is a path of peace, less anxiety, less stress, because Krishna is going to look after us. We know that. And our role is to do our regular activities, day-to-day activities, and keep on remembering Krishna. Then Krishna will take care of us. So with that, we'll pause here. We'll continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam tomorrow. Randraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki